You help to free us as we work to unbind these chains.
Hello and welcome back. Do you feel that you have done all the exercises, taking all of the best courses that you can find about how to manifest things in your life with what's known as the law of attraction? So the question is, are we actuating our own blockages of manifestation power with hidden shadows? To analyze this, let's start with another collective shadow. In this instance, let's talk about a preconceived perception of the collective consciousness. As you are aware, some organizations or entities have very specific narratives on guiding the perception of the masses, and they use communication tools in guiding this perception using the old discrediting tactic, meaning if we can make this person look bad, no one will ever listen to him. And that is exactly what they are able to do. The campaign often focused on destroying an individual or an organization with witnesses, data, and information, and all that one-sided biased bad news that comes along with the program. By the time the viewer sees the whole program, he has also made his decision based off of that specific information and data, unaware that he may be being fed a very one-sided perspective without all the facts, even containing misinformation, deceptive images, twisted content, albeit conversation or images. This is their art. This is what they do. They guide people's thoughts with a specific narrative, and by doing so, they can control timelines. Yeah, pretty big business, controlling timelines. Imagine that. So here's the question. Has the collective consciousness accepted deception as reality? Well, when we look at it from an honest perspective, yes, they have. And when we do this to ourselves and are involved in that, what can obviously happen is we lock down our own ascension and evolution. For example, if we wrongly come to a conclusion without proper investigation, let's say that an author wrote over 1,000 books, but someone was able to produce a program with a disgruntled person that used to work with this person and create all this misinformation, and now even you would never open one of those 1,000 books that this author had written and given to society. Has that happened? Yes, it has. Therefore, we are participating with our own ignorance and lack of skill and knowledge of deciphering superior data from information. We create our own blockages. These blockages can, yes, inhibit our manifestation powers. So in this episode, the subject is specifically manifestation blockages. Let's start with a possible blockage. I think most viewers would agree that we are indeed moving away from malignant energies into benevolent energies, more truthful, known as the Golden Age era. That considered, is the manifestation we are seeking in tune with this benevolent infrastructure of divine sacred geometry? In this introspection exercise, we have the objective to examine our intentions and if they're attuned to selfishness, pretentiousness, in whatever form that may be, as they are associated with an old world that is in disillusion. These illusions can be linked to energetic blockages we intend to locate and transmute in this upcoming meditative assist. Now let's consider an illustration of a singular conscious and the fundamental nature of how it may manifest according to the law of mirrors. Let's say, for example, we may be trying to manifest a new sports car. Fantastic. Now ask the question, do I hold the frequency to keep the sports car? Upon realistic evaluations, we may comprehend that we are trying to attract something outside the frequency we have yet to achieve. Do I have the resources to pay the insurance, the maintenance, just for starters? And therefore, it does not resonate with us. And the law of mirrors, in its benevolent direction, simply does not recognize us as having sufficient spiritual maturity to make such manifestations. So before trying to attract the sports car, let's start with identifying our new self, our new self identity, who we are, what frequencies we emit, and focusing on emitting frequencies harmonious to our expansion, being that having abundance is a consequence to our actions that yield our own fruits, whatever those may be. And sure, that can include a sports car when the objection is not merely material pursuit with a pretentious frequency that only yields self-sabotage in the form of lessons to be learned. Our work upon locating these possible illusional patterns will be giving them a farewell as we ascend into a much more expanded perception of altruism and our true essence as a player in the larger cosmic game of expansion. As a consequence of high vibration, abundance comes naturally. It comes into play in forms that may be larger than we expected, larger than materialistic desires of illusion that do not fit into a natural state of our universal abundance. Are we ready for this freedom to receive our new self in an abundant state? Now let's run through a few questions of introspection to determine, is our desired manifestation out of line with universal principles? Questions to consider. How can we enter a state of receptiveness without releasing the grip of the familiar? Is it possible that this is needed for my continued expansion? What would be necessary to surrender to the inflow of expansive light? Am I insisting in lofty pretense as a defense mechanism translated as pride or narcissism by others? What would happen if I released complete fear of being authentic and honest about my own shadows? What would happen if I abandoned all excuses and justifications and used silence? Should I examine these impulsive justifications under introspection of sincerity in moments of meditation? In all we do or say, we do well to swiftly reflect. Are we acting on impulse? And examine, in sincerity, a simple internal evaluation. Would this be a strategic approach moving forward in my present time? Can I utilize this energy I feel that is wrongly being pushed towards me as a catalyst to rebound into upward ascension? What would happen to me if I faced the possibility of the shadows within me to become evident in my own analytical mind and transferring them out of my reactive mind impulse? So in introspection, let's sincerely examine, are we tuning into desire or our new self-identity? Can our new self be mirrored without being the new self we seek? Let's now prepare in visualizing a new you. Who is that new you who you want to be? Let's take a moment to really contact emotions, to feel it, so that we emit the cosmic mirror, letting it know what we want more of. Ready? Exercise. Take a moment to feel gratitude for what we have, Tune into that emotion. Emit this feeling, gratitude. Now let's get focus on feeling alive in the here and now of the present. Focus on feeling good now, independent of our exterior circumstances. Do those exterior circumstances have power over our emotions and feelings? This is the learning lesson of manifestation. To manifest, we must have control over what we emit as emotion and feeling, and not wait on everything to align for us to experience that feeling. We live that feeling now. Now let's move to the feeling of willingness and disposition. Contact that emotion of being willing and having disposition. Are you willing to get what you want? Now let's focus on the feeling of optimism. Feel the emotion of being optimistic, positive. Feel it and emit this frequency. Let the universe understand what it is you are, as it will give you more of the same, attracting more positivity. The law of mirrors in action. Now let's imagine celebrations. Feel the happiness, the contentment, the satisfaction of celebrating being that new you that you are now. Contact the feeling, the emotion of celebrating. Now let's visualize laughter. Feel the warmth of what laughter brings. Happiness and all the emotions that come with it. Joy. Feel, emit this emotion and feeling of laughter and joy. When we work with this, we give it a moment of focus. The longer we focus on it, the more we are building this concept of ourselves in the etheric fabric. It will reflect it back to you. This is how we manifest. Okay, good. Now, when we are firmly set, we set out with a plan on how to execute that. Working in harmony with our own thoughts that we emit. Imagining how to embrace these changes and setting necessary actions in motion. Obviously, if we can't accept the changes necessary and the actions needed to take place, this also can be a blockage. Unwilling to change. By accepting changes, confronting and working in harmony with our goals, We elevate our vibration, navigating towards the new and happy you. Perhaps we had something more complicated in mind, but it's a simple transformation that only awaits ourselves. We monitor our emotional states, adjust them by needed transmutations of energies. By focusing on that, we build our self-control, our self-dominion to focus on the optimistic frequencies. When triggers come on you and you find yourself anxious, take a moment and reflect these interior affirmations. I am grateful to be alive in the here and in the now. I am a navigator of both space and time, and as a creator, have the power to move the particles in my universe with my own frequencies that I am fully in control of. As we conquer our emotions, we seize opportunities to navigate into new relationships of like-minded, higher vibrational, positive people that support you, value you, and appreciate you, and make way for your growth and not prohibit your growth. Blockages may be people that we allow into our lives, narcissistic, pessimistic, negative energies that are constantly bombarding us. These can be retarding elements to our progression. So this navigation towards a new and higher timeline of your new self ultimately may require big changes in our environment, perhaps even cutting ties with imposing organizations that contain and limit our personal perception and expansion. It may involve a career change to something more tailored to your interest, talent, or mission of some sort. It may require a change in our diet, the water we drink, the air we breathe, the house we live in, the people we associate with, and even departures from toxic and narcissistic friends, colleagues, or family members. It may involve a more conscious approach on our health activities in general, and we suddenly find ourselves dominating old habits, developing resilience and tolerance to them. We become stronger and bolder with our speech, fearlessly, meaning we do not shrink back in fear when it's time to ethically take action. We transform our own environments into higher vibrations. We have already covered some of these exercises of clearing out open cycles, and obviously your home environment, organized and clean, all of this has a reflection on who you are, how you feel, and the emotions you are able to resonate with. When we're cleaning our house, notice things that may bring a low frequency to you, that may remind you of a bad circumstance. Don't hesitate to get rid of it. Throw it out, as that contributes to the overall frequency of your environment, affecting you in your own home. We become more selective on the information we engage in and become untarnished by mind control tactics, seemingly recognizing them effortlessly for what they really are and see through to the true narratives of who is behind it, those agendas, to what we may have been blindsided before. As our frequencies raise, our vibrations oscillate faster, and we suddenly perceive that the power of our manifestation of particles in our own universe begins to align ever so faster as we progress with our ascension. It's important to introspect and spend time of knowing the new you. Who is that person? Understand this person, because without the destination, it's hard to get there. That also being another blockage. We want one thing, we change our mind, we go to another direction, never getting anywhere. So let's focus and know where we are going. And by focusing on this, we let the astral visualize what it is to reflect back to us. We are literally installing components of thought being the first initiative to create something. We are creating when we are doing this. Know that when we are in introspection, questions are the catalyst in finding answers and discovery of our own shadows. To find, we must honestly seek. Seek and you shall find. Being ready to make expansion is also being willing to tear down previous foundational walls that we previously may have perceived as a concrete truth. The next video will be a preparation assist to this very exercise we are discussing. We will focus on the soul star chakra that I call Katra vortex, in combination with the heart vortex, where we contact our innate authenticity of our new higher version of self. The Katra vortex is where the knowledge lies of the Akashic records that knows why we have blockages, that knows about our traumas, and much as a file clerk will hand viewings to you to consider when needed and ready. In conjunction with the heart vortex of our present time, we can initiate these changes into our current life. The assist will begin with a meditative preparation and afterwards a search and find mission conducted by ourselves, asking questions and responding to those questions with thorough and honest contemplation. Upon honest and internal reflection, we open ourselves to potentially align our spiritual maturity ripe for expansion, as the answers to these questions will resonate within you, also functioning on the same concept of the law of mirrors, meaning a genuine search with self-questions will locate the answers within us. And that may take time. It may take reflective analyzation and patience. But continue the thought process until the epiphany is achieved. If it's not achieved in this session, look for it once more in the next session. What kind of questions? Here's a few to help get the ball rolling. What are my truths? Do my truths limit me? Do I possess imposed limited perceptions? By locating these, can I make room for higher grounds of expansion? How can I integrate the truths of others that do not resonate with me with respect, love, and acceptance of the free will of my other self? If the universe is in constant motion, what is truth beyond my own perception? Do I feel frustration when others have different opinions? If so, why? Am I judgmental? If so, how can I transcend limitations and divisions? Have I allowed others to guide my perception? Have I fallen victim to information with biased narratives? Who am I without the identity others have imposed on me, or I upon myself? Do people see me as I see myself? What is my true essence? Who am I? Are my choices guided by my own fear of what people may think of me? Do I truly manifest who I am? Or am I mitigating my true authenticity? If so, why? Do I seek to please others over pleasing myself? What does my own ascension depend on? What exactly am I waiting for? Has someone imposed a delay on my ascension? As if I'm waiting on another to arrive to come save me? Do my intentions of manifestation resonate with benevolence? And that brings us to a conclusion, and I hope you're there with me on the next episode of activation and alignment of the heart vortex with our intentions of manifestation. See you there.